Look along the banks of the Ohio River into the Commonwealth of Kentucky. A big one here today in Cincinnati for Ken Whisenhunt and the Arizona Cardinals. We mentioned they need to win both of their games this week and next, and then get a lot of help to try and get into the NFC playoffs. Meanwhile, for Marvin Lewis and the Bengals, at 8-6 are tied with the Jets, but they would lose a tiebreaker should they both end up with identical records. So the Bengals need to win their last two and hope the Jets can lose one of their remaining two.
For my money, these two coaches should be considered for Coach of the Year. Now, it's not going to happen, but I'll tell you this. Some of the best coaching you do is when you're at or around 500 and dealing with the circumstances these two gentlemen have. It's been a heck of a year.
Cincinnati won the toss, deferred to Arizona, so the Cardinals will get it. And Mike Nugent bangs it deep into the end zone, but A.J. Jefferson will bring it out, and not a wise decision by Jefferson. Andrew Hawkins, the first Bengal to meet him. We look at Arizona offensively. They are without Brandon Keith again, their right tackle. Jeremy Bridges starts again for him. And again, starting at quarterback, it's John Skelton.
Well, they've been able to get the run cranked up a little bit, and of course, he's going to look for Larry Fitzgerald. But the two tight ends, Todd Heap and Rob Hausler, they're key in terms of taking pressure away from Larry Fitzgerald to get those one-on-one matchups that Skelton will be looking for.
The Ohio native Beanie Wells on first down carries out across the 15 and tripped up to the 17, a gain of close to 5. Cincinnati defensively 6th in total defense in the NFL.
Like I said earlier, kind of a no-name group, but Mike Zimmer's group's been very effective. Watch for pressure coming out of the secondary with safety Chris Crocker and cornerback Nate Clemens. They love to bring those guys in the nickel.
Been a banged-up secondary. They lost their All-Pro Leon Hall a number of weeks ago, so Adam Jones, former #1 pick out of Tennessee, takes his spot, and what a catch in traffic made by Fitzgerald for a first down up to the 31-yard line. The amazing Larry Fitzgerald in his 8th year out of Pitt.
I want you to watch where he places this ball. He is covered, but John Skelton knows I can put this thing high and outside. There's no such thing as covered for Larry Fitzgerald. Watch his eyes. He's looking that ball into the hands before he does anything to get this third down conversion. This is why this guy is a perennial All-Pro and possible Hall of Famer.
Fake it to Wells, and Skelton is dropped all the way back to the 20-yard line by Damatapeko.
Arizona opts for maximum protection here. Look how everybody stays in. The problem is when you keep your tight ends and back in, you only have 2 guys out. If they're covered, I got no place to go with the ball. John Skelton needed to throw this thing away with only a 2-man route available to him.
Damatapeko getting just his 2nd sack of the year. But that's a loss of 11. And the Bengals do get after the quarterback. 5th most sacks in the NFL going into play today. They've had 8 of them in the last 2 weeks. And it's intercepted by Malaluga. Slow starts, that has been the story for Arizona offensively, whether it's Skelton or Kevin Cobb at quarterback.
Well, you're going to see Andre Roberts come across the field. This was kind of the same throw we just saw to Larry Fitzgerald, just a little high. Larry Fitzgerald comes down with that. Malaluga goes, you're kidding me. This thing got through to me, and now Cincinnati's on a short field.
Bengals take over at the Arizona 23-yard line. Their rookie quarterback is Andy Dalton. He will throw on first down. Good protection. And that is Gresham inside the 15, down to the 12, the #1 pick out of Oklahoma a year ago.
Yeah, let's go back to the interception. You can see right here, Davis Roberts is coming across the field. He sees the hole right here. He's just shooting for right here. He can see it, but the ball's just a little high, and it barely tipped. Malaluga coming in behind, ready to make the tackle. Instead, he gets the turnover.
Cedric Benson slips inside the 10, down to the 9-yard line. The Bengals lost their longtime right guard, Bobby Williams, with a broken leg 2 weeks ago, so Mike McGinn starts in his place again. But of course it all starts with Dalton Benson and A.J. Green.
Well, A.J. Green is going to line up against Patrick Peterson, the phenom rookie corner, against the Arizona Cardinals all day. Everywhere Green goes, Peterson goes. We're going to watch that matchup all day long.
2nd down and 8 at the 9-yard line. Been a very stingy Arizona defense. Brian mentioned it a moment ago. You go back to week 9, and they've won 6 of their last 7. The defense has allowed a total of 8 touchdowns. Only the Steelers have surrendered fewer. And where they've really been at their best is after they turn the ball over. And Arizona's turned it over 27 times. They've only allowed 61 points.
Points off of turnovers, or not allowing points off of turnovers, is always huge, particularly if you're going to be a playoff caliber team.
So 3rd down and 5 from the 7. Quick slant in and out of the hands of A.J. Green, and there is a penalty flag down on the field. It's another area where these young Bengals have made so many mistakes.
Offside, offense number 18. Penalties decline, 4th down.
That's A.J. Green.
We talked about, you can see right here, they motioned outside and they switched up. You saw right there. Peterson started to go outside. No, I'm going to come inside. I'm supposed to be on Green all day long. Almost slipped one in there because of the confusion on coverage. Almost got a cheap one into A.J. Green.
Been an outstanding year for the Centerville, Ohio native Mike Nugent. Also starred at Ohio State. He has the best field goal percentage in the league. Good snap, good hold, and Nugent right down the middle. So the Bengals take advantage of the Malaluga interception to take a 3-0 lead.
Ticket exchange.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Boy, here in the heartland of America, it doesn't feel very much like Christmas Eve. Temperatures in the high 40s and bright sunshine. Certainly hope all of you have a happy holiday season and a safe one. Merry Christmas to all. Big night tonight, Christmas Eve.
I was looking forward to a little snow. I'm a little disappointed we don't have snow on the ground.
Nugent puts a foot on it, and again it is A.J. Jefferson out of his own end zone. Stumbles briefly, and for the 2nd time, he is dropped well inside the 20, this time by Dan Scuda. So the Cardinals back on offense, trailing 3-0.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
Welcome back to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. 3-0, the home team in front. And Arizona begins its 2nd drive inside its own 20. In fact, the Cardinals have started more drives inside their own 20 than any team in the league. Chris Wells spins his way for a gain of 3 up to the 20-yard line. Let's check in with Laura Oakman. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Tom. I talked to Kevin Kolb this morning, and he told me that this concussion he suffered is much different than the one he experienced in Philadelphia last year because of the lingering effects. 2 weeks later, he said he's still having issues with his vision, with his balance, but what scares him most, he says, is he's having trouble filtering his thoughts. That it's hard for me to just put 2 thoughts together if it's in a conversation or a game plan. I'm a competitor. I want to get out there, but I also know I've got to give it time. I can't rush it.
Wells for a gain of maybe a yard. This is a play we believe that Cobb suffered the concussion. That was on the opening drive in the home game against San Francisco. Skelton rallied him late to win.
Yeah, and that was a big win for them, obviously. You could see the knee of the defender kicking Cobb in the back of the head. And obviously in today's NFL, taken very seriously, and there's a definite protocol that will be followed before he ever gets back on the field.
They're down in 5, and Skelton is sacked for the second time. Michael Johnson, the first Bengal there, and had help from Carlos Dunlap.
You're going to see this come from the outside. The linebacker stepped up to draw protection from the center and guards. Brown could not turn out wide enough to allow for the outside rush by Johnson. Skelton had no chance.
You know, you talk about the Bengals and Andy Dalton and A.J. Green on offense. You look at some of the young players they have on defense. Carlos Dunlap, Geno Atkins. This is a very active group. We mentioned they have the 5th most sacks in the league. Adam Jones is tripped up close to midfield. But for the second time, the Bengal defense with a sack on Skelton, and the Bengals in prime field position. 3-0 Cincinnati, and the Bengals on this second offensive possession because of a couple of sacks already in the game, and Arizona's allowed more than any team in the league. The Bengals put it in play in Cardinal territory. Overthrown, and a flag comes in. That's A.J. Green and Patrick Peterson, a pair of rookies, of course, that met in their Southeastern Conference days.
Pass interference. Defense number 21. Automatic first down.
This is so tough. Patrick Peterson running step for step with A.J. Green. And there's always, he's looking at the ball, but he lifted the right arm. That subtle arm bar, I don't know that he needed it right there. Even though you're looking back to the ball, you cannot bring that arm across the body of the wide receiver. He's complaining there, but he knows exactly what he did. And I'm not sure that he needed it.
The 21-yard penalty against Peterson, who has more pass interference penalties than any player in the NFL. That's his 7th. And this is Cedric Benson. Benson inside the 25, down to the 23-yard line. Boy, there's a lot to like. A lot of youngsters on this Arizona defense.
It is, and they're maturing under this scheme that Ray Horton's put in this Steelers style of play. We've already seen Patrick Peterson one-on-one with A.J. Green. I want to see the veteran Adrian Wilson, one of the great blitzers from the secondary, but at that stage in his career, one-on-one with Jermaine Grisham. I want to see what that matchup looks like.
It's not a good sign for the Cardinals. Paris Lennon limped off the field. They're looking at him on the sideline. Second down, and Green rolling. Pump fake, enough for a first down. Was looking for Green was Andy Dalton, and we check in with Kurt Menefee back in Los Angeles.
Bengals fans looking for the Jets to lose the Battle of New York to help their playoff hopes won't like this. Opening series for the Jets. Mark Sanchez, Josh Baker hook up for his 5-yard score. Jets lead it 7-0 in the early going. Tom and Brian?
Of course, Bengal fans keeping an eye on that one today. We brought up earlier, if you weren't with us, Cincinnati needs to win its final 2 and hope the Jets lose one of their final 2 to nail down that final spot in the AFC playoffs. Back on the ground to Benson, a first down carry, and he's inside the 15. Boy, this guy has been a horse since coming to the Bengals from Chicago in 2008. Closing in on his 3rd 1,000-yard rushing year.
And let's watch Adrian Wilson. He's going to tell you what the defense is doing. He is so aggressive in his pressure package. If he's lined up in the slot, it indicates zone. If he's head up on the tight end, I can guarantee you Andy Dalton knows where Adrian Wilson is on every single play.
Short of the first down, Jerome Simpson. And he's wrapped up. They'll spot it at the 11-yard line. It brings up 3rd and 8 for Cincinnati.
The Arizona defense was put on a short field because of the turnover in the previous series. So you have to give them, they won the last go-round in the red zone here because they forced Cincinnati to a field goal. They were put on a short field again. If they do it here, that's 2 wins for Arizona.
Bengals take a timeout before 3rd down and 4. Harris Lennon in his 10th season. What a career he has had. But shaken up just moments ago. Stuart Bradley, number 52. The former Philadelphia Eagle in to replace him. Bengals lead 3-0. And a 3rd and 4 at the Arizona 11.
I'm looking for Jermaine Gresham right here. You know they're going to account for A.J. Green.
Pump fake. Dalton throws. You said look for Jermaine Gresham, and they find him. Is it a touchdown? It is. Boy, he just ripped the ball right out of the hands of Darrell Washington.
This is a big man with a long reach. May be the best individual matchup you have on the field here. Runs that quick little nod move. He was supposed to get the ball there. Now he's reacting to Andy Dalton. Dalton knows I can keep that thing high and wide. Grisham's going to go up for a rebound and come down with a score.
6th receiving touchdown this season for Jermaine Gresham. And you got to remember, Gresham has missed 2 entire games and parts of 3 others with a bad hamstring this entire season. Going after by Nugent is good. Bengals 10, Cardinals nothing.
Hi, Master Sergeant Martin Aguilera, deployed to Afghanistan. I want to wish my wife and kids happy holidays. God bless.
God bless you as well, Sergeant Aguilera, and all of those serving around the world away from their family and friends during this Christmas season. Bengals out to a 10-0 lead. Arizona will get the ball for the 3rd time. And this time, rather than trying to bring it out, A.J. Peterson takes a knee. A.J. Jefferson, I beg your pardon. Here's a touchdown.
Well, again, it's just you can see here, Gresham's going to nod and then go to the back of the end zone. He was supposed to get the ball up here right now, but it breaks down with Dalton getting to the outside. And again, I talk about the size and the long arms. So much for a quarterback throwing to a tight end. They're usually risky throws because he's surrounded by a lot of people. But in that instance, he knew I could put it high and wide. Remember, Gresham was a basketball player coming out of high school. This guy is a gifted athlete along the lines of a Jermichael Finley.
Talked about the starting field position. The first 2 drives for the Cardinals. This is by far its best from its own 20. And Wells for a yard. Wrapped up by Chris Crocker.
We talked about the Cincinnati Bengal defense. There's not a lot of big names on this defense, but when you see them rally to the ball, you very rarely see one guy there. It's 1, then 2, then 3. They rally as many bodies into the film as they possibly can.
Chris Crocker having to lead. They play fake it. Good protection this time, and wide open down the middle of the field. The catch is made by Roberts, and that is a 1st down all the way up to the 43-yard line.
They needed this desperately just for the field position. They've got the unbalanced line over here that says run. So what does that do? With a play fake, that brings the linebackers up, and that creates separation at the 2nd level. He can throw right over the top of it to Andre Roberts. That's a much-needed 1st down, if for no other reason, to change the field position for Arizona.
Beanie Wells with his 5th carry. And he has gone past the 1,000-yard mark for the first time in his young career. A native of Akron, Ohio, played collegiately up the road at Ohio State. And he has just had an outstanding year. He's been healthy, and when this guy's healthy, he is a dynamic back.
That's been the key. He's been healthy, and he's not turned the ball over. He had a little bit of a rep coming out because of the fumbles, had that early in his career, but he has seemed to crack the code and not let that happen. He should have some bright years ahead of him.
Still being bothered by a troublesome knee, but he's in there today. They fake it to him, great protection again, and now it begins to break down, and he's dropped from behind by Jonathan Fanene. We mentioned the Bengals had 8 sacks in their last 2 games. They have 3 in the first 10 minutes today.
He just stays alive in the middle. We always talk about the importance. Look at, he's 2-on-1, 2-on-1, continues to fight. Secondary holds up. Skelton's trying to get outside, and all of a sudden you're brought down from behind.
Third down and 14. Short completion, but well short of the first down. Heap his first catch of the day, but Nate Clement's right on him.
Ken Whisenhunt, the head coach and the primary play caller for the Arizona Cardinals, talked about how many different looks you get when you play Cincinnati. Of course, Marvin Lewis was with me in those great years in Baltimore with that 2000 run. And Marvin now can dial him up with the best of them, and he feels like he's got a very good defensive group that can keep up with the challenges of running the multiple coverages.
Brandon Tate coming up to get it, and a fair catch at the 17-yard line. Coming up Friday, January 6th on Fox, one of the most anticipated bowl games, 8th-ranked Kansas State against 6th-ranked Arkansas. Our exclusive coverage of the 76 Cotton Bowl Classic from Dallas begins 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific on January the 6th. Right here on Fox, Gus Johnson and Charles Davis will be in Big D.
Cincinnati, Marvin Lewis, it was interesting to visit with Marvin. He talked about it's such a joy to come to work every day because I'm not worrying about what problem do I have to deal with today. He's got a young group that is following his lead, and he's enjoying this group right now.
Fake it one way, come back and throw it the other way. Short completion to the longtime Packer, Donald Lee.
You know, the problems I'm talking about, and it's not major problems, but I've said many times, if a team is physically worn out, okay, I know how to adjust my practices to get you fresh. If you're mentally worn out, okay, I'll adjust my meeting schedule, I'll cut it down. But when a team gets emotionally worn out, and I think that's what happened to the Bengals before, whether it's Chad Ochocinco, T.O., Carson Palmer coming, going, you emotionally wear a team out. This team is young, it's fresh, and it's following its leadership.
Second down and 10. They set up the screen to Gresham. Slips one block, still on his feet, and the big fella all the way up to the 28-yard line for a Bengal first down. Boy, what a talented young player is Jermaine Gresham.
I love these little tight end inside. He blocks. We talked about the 7- and 8-man protection schemes to protect your rookie quarterback. All of a sudden you fall off. This is the same as a draw and a trap. This is basically an extended handoff to the tight end Gresham. I love the inside tight end screen.
Bernard Scott checks into the backfield. They will spell Cedric Benson from time to time. They fake it to Scott, and Dalton will run it. And another first down as he slides up to the 41-yard line.
Watch the poise and comfort of Andy Dalton. Again, they're going for maximum protection. You're going to see everybody here involved with a play fake. The guard pulls out. It looks like a trap action. And now he steps up, nothing there, and he takes off. The poise of Andy Dalton for a rookie. And I don't know if you can still call him a rookie after 14 games, but that's what really comes out when you look at the film on Andy Dalton.
Got his first carry, and he's up across the 45. That'll be a gain of close to 6 for Bernard Scott.
This is what Cincinnati wants to do. Marvin Lewis, before the 2009 season, said, we are going to commit to running the ball, play good defense, and if we can throw it, that will be great. They did it in 2009, swept the division, struggled last year, but they are recommitted to the running game, which is a smart thing to do with the rookie quarterback. And oh, by the way, I got some good young talent outside that we can make some plays with as well.
Scott again, and another big hole. Boy, this Bengal offensive line, at least here through the opening quarter, opening up some running room for both Benson and now Bernard Scott.
They go off that left side with Wentworth, big old body on the outside to create the edge. They've gone inside, they've gone outside. You're going to see this whole left side. Look at the way they press, get up to the second level. That's a lot for a big man to get up to that second level to take that linebacker on. That's where the big plays come in the running game. Big plays being 6, 7, 8, 9 yards.
We're at the end of the first quarter, and Fox NFL Sunday continues in a moment.
Jay Gruden, the first-year coordinator, offensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals, doing a great job with his rookie quarterback, Andy Dalton. Jay Gruden, of course, the brother of John Gruden. John told Marvin, hey, you got to look at my brother, and it was a good pickup.
First down throw and a catch made by Simpson. That's a good pickup on first down inside the 40-yard line.
You know what? We talked to Jay Gruden the other day. He said, and I give him great credit for it, he wants to open this thing up. He wants to do a lot more, but he knows he's got a rookie quarterback. He knows he's got a defense that's playing very well. He is keeping this offense in rhythm of the entire team rather than giving himself over to the, you know what, I want to generate some numbers. Let's put it up every down. That's not who we are right now.
Going to throw it on a second down and 2. Now that is A.J. Green. What a throw and what a catch by Green. Boy, he is something. Well, you can make an argument he's been the best rookie wide receiver in the league in a long time.
He has, and watch, it's a simple corner out, but watch where Andy Dalton puts the ball. Great touch, knowing, look, this guy can come down, a little bit of a back shoulder throw, but again, whether it's Grisham, whether it's Green, I got a couple guys that got some major ups. I'd take them on my 3-on-3 basketball team anytime, and that's where I can put the ball with these two great receivers.
And with that catch, A.J. Green has just broken Chris Collinsworth's Bengal rookie record for receiving yards in a season. Collinsworth back in 1981 for over 1,000 yards, but of course all the changes with the Bengals. No longer Ocho Cinco, no longer Carson Palmer, and start to rebuild it.
Exactly right, and not only this, they've got Andy Dalton at quarterback, A.J. Green. They're without Jordan Shipley because of injury, but they've also got possibly 2 first-round draft choices from the Oakland Raiders. Life's pretty good for the Cincinnati Bengals right now.
Second down and 8, blitz coming. Dalton gets it away and into traffic and nearly intercepted. And an injured Cardinal. That's Kerry Rhodes, who of course just came back a week ago after missing 8 games with a broken foot. So an injury timeout. We're taking a look at Rhodes, and he's grabbing a hold of that foot.
Well, you can see here, Kerry Rhodes goes up. Hard to tell when he comes down. It's his right foot and then the left foot. Looks like it's the left foot. Hard to say what happened there, whether it's the foot or the ankle. Not a doctor, not going to conjecture as to what it is, but boy, it does not look good.
Drive began all the way back to their own 16-yard line. It's the 10th play of the drive. And the jump ball for Green. No penalty flag and defended beautifully by Peterson. And there is a flag, I beg your pardon, but that's back in the line of scrimmage.
Holding, offense number 64. Penalties decline, 4th down.
Well, we mentioned A.J. Green. He separated his shoulder last week in the win over St. Louis, had 115 receiving yards in the game. Leads all NFL rookies in receptions, yards, touchdowns, and now the owner of the most receiving yards in Bengals franchise history for a first-year player. Went by Chris Collinsworth. Still makes his home in the area, very active in the greater Cincinnati community. 35-yard field goal try for Nugent. 1 for 1 already. And this one a rare miss, only the 3rd this season for Nugent. Kerry Rhodes shaken up a moment ago. He's certainly moving around a lot better than he was when he was helped off the field.
That's good to see him moving around there. Don't know whether it just, you know, sometimes anybody's played basketball, don't you? Tweak that ankle, and all of a sudden there's a little bit of panic sets in, but then it calms down and you realize, no, I'm okay. Looks like he's okay. I'd love to see him back in the game.
So the Bengals chew up 5.5 minutes, 11 plays, nearly 70 yards, and do not score. And Fitzgerald, did he hang on? No. Well, for more on what's happening on the injury front, let's check in again with Laura Oakman.
Well, Brian just said, hoping that we'll see Kerry Rhodes back in the game. Return is questionable. It is a sprained left ankle, and that was the left foot that he broke earlier in the season. So obviously they're being a little more careful. But as you said, he's moving around much better here on the sideline.
He's had a nice career. All those years with the Jets.
I wish I were that limbo. I'll take that right now. I don't care if the foot and the ankle hurt or not. That looked pretty good to me.
Second down and Beanie Wells for a gain of 3. You know, you look around, it's hard to believe, Brian, all the empty seats here at Paul Brown Stadium. Certainly one of the great football cities in America, and that's not a stretch. You're talking about the 31st largest city in America, but has produced the 4th most players in the NFL among all cities in America. They've sold out every game here in the history of this stadium until the end of last year.
I don't get it. It's a young team. Jump on board. Get excited about these young players that are going to be with you for a long time. Dalton, Gresham, Shipley when he comes back, A.J. Green. We talked about the young guys on defense. A little puzzling as to why these fans aren't here today.
Well, we've not been happy with some of the things that have happened over the last number of years, and there's a timeout as that play clock was winding down. Some of the player issues off the field, oftentimes in ownership. It's a fun team to watch. We'll be right back. And we understand that we're going to keep it right here. There was a penalty flag down. I didn't see it. Did you see it, Brian?
No, I did not, and he didn't announce it either. So I'm not quite sure what we're doing.
Apparently, it was a delay of the game before they got the timeout.
All right, here we go.
So I beg your pardon. Good protection. And well short of first down yardage is Chester Taylor. So Arizona will punt again with 11:20 to play here until halftime.
That's just good defense that I'm talking about. You take away the throw to the first down marker, force the quarterback to dump the ball underneath, and everybody rallies up, and as is typical of a good defensive team, good open field tackling.
Saskadil puts the left foot on it, and then it checks up on him. And did a Bengal touch the ball? It looked like a Cardinal touched it first to down it, but the officials are saying no, the ball belongs to Arizona.
We'll have to track this one, but it bounced around. The way the ball bounced back, people weren't sure where it was.
On the receiving team at that spot. First down.
I think
timeout.
That's what I said. It looked like it touched a Cardinal.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah,
looked like it did drop down and hit the back of Alphonso Smith. Didn't see that earlier because then it was a mad scramble because you saw the Bengal player touch it, but it clearly looks like it hit the back of Alphonso Smith's legs.
And if not him, then O'Brien Schofield, one or the other, but pretty evident there that it was touched by the punt team.
They dodged a bit of a bullet there. That was just the kind of break that Arizona needed. Now they got to regroup emotionally to the disappointment not having the ball. They need a desperate 3-and-out here. Give their offense some better field position. Yeah, couldn't quite get the check in.
Second, charge timeout.
So the Bengals spent a timeout, and we will take a timeout. 10-0 Cincinnati. Bengals with the football in a 10-0 lead, 10:48 to play until halftime. Another very quiet first half start offensively for the Cardinals. That has been their MO. Benson back in the game. And a short pickup of a yard. Wilson coming up to meet him.
Andy Dalton's been given more and more latitude now as they progress through the season to do some of the checking that we've seen him already do. Maybe as simple as checking a run from one side to the other. A couple of these throws down the field, he has gotten to those checks. Like we said, he's going to find Adrian Wilson. That's going to be the key to what their coverage is, and try to take advantage of it either in the run or the pass. And that says a lot for a rookie to be able to do that.
Laura Oakman tells us it was a wrist injury to Lemon, but you see he's back on the field. And short of a first down is Simpson. A third down and right around 2 to go for the Bengals. Coming up.
Good to see Kerry Rhodes back in. The veteran presence he has, was a good pickup for Arizona, because you put him with Adrian Wilson. There are very few secondaries have that kind of experience on the back end to sort out, particularly with a rookie corner now. That's a real veteran presence to be able to help the rookie Peterson transition into the NFL.
Called a 3rd and 3, and they're going to run it. And Benson has enough for a first down up to the 44-yard line. Well, you brought up earlier, Brian, in 2009 when the Bengals swept their division, won a divisional championship, got beat in the opening round of the playoffs against the Jets. They did it by running and playing great defense, and then a lot of people around here were just stunned when then they went out and brought in Terrell Owens and leaned heavily on Carson Palmer and Ocho Cinco to start throwing the ball around the line and forgot about running the ball.
Yeah, because they thought, well, we'll continue to run the ball and then we'll have these big play receivers. Didn't turn out that way. Marvin Lewis loves the equation he's got going right now, though.
Green crosses midfield. That catch to the Arizona 49, and the flag is down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 90, low hit. 15-yard penalty. First down.
That's Darnell Dockett, 3-time Pro Bowler.
Yeah, you're going to watch him come from the inside here, and this is the tough one. We always know about the hits to the head, but as you go low, you cannot hit from the thigh or below, or actually knee or below. He came in entirely too low. And why? Because in this very stadium, the Carson Palmer hit in the playoffs kind of brought about that, and the Tom Brady hit about that sweet spot for the quarterback is from the thigh pad up to about the neck. Anything higher or lower, it's going to bring a penalty.
Well, they tack on the additional 15. The Bengals have a first down at the Arizona 33. Blitz coming. That's into triple coverage and a floater that could have easily been intercepted. And Rhodes right in the middle of that coverage.
That's the veteran experience we're talking about with Rhodes. Here you're going to see Adrian Wilson one-on-one, but he knows he's got help over the top. Look at Kerry Rhodes come running in. You're right, that's a lot of bodies. Actually, with a little more height, he might have gotten this thing pulled off. And here a late hit on the quarterback. That's as clean as you can do it. Darnell Dockett doing it the right way there, as opposed to earlier when he went in below the knee.
Again, the blitz is on, and Dalton just does get it away. Had an eye on Andrew Hawkins, and on the coverage was Michael Adams. 3rd down and 10.
And this is the testing time for a young Andy Dalton. You know, we talk about a Cam Newton. I love what Carolina's doing with Cam Newton. Let him throw up every down. I mean, okay, so you go 5-11 instead of 6-10. That's going to pay dividends next year. It's a much steeper learning curve for a quarterback like Andy Dalton that's carrying around a playoff caliber team where the throws carry much more importance.
Well, inside screen to Ryan Whalen, the rookie out of Stanford, made his first career catch last week. But again, the Arizona defense is keeping us close enough, forcing another Bengals field goal try.
Yeah, and it doesn't sound awfully ambitious to say, geez, we're satisfied with a 10-point deficit, or if they make this field goal to 13-point deficit. But this could be a whole lot worse based on the field position that Cincinnati's had.
48-yard field goal try for Nugent, who's hit from 49 this year. We mentioned 1 of 2 today. Has only missed 3 times the entire season. And this one slips off to the right. How about that? 2 misses all year for Nugent. He's missed twice today. Well, the last 2 plays, 2 drives for the Bengals. Covered over 100 yards in 18 plays, but no points. We talked about Nugent. He came in having hit on 27 of 29 during the year, with 2 misses and 3 attempts today. As field position so far for Arizona on offense. And that's Chester Taylor on the reception, and that's a gain of 9.
Chester Taylor is a great changeup back for Beanie Wells. I had Chester in Baltimore. He's excellent out of the backfield and catching the ball. He's an outstanding pass protector and a good solid runner as well.
Arizona now going to the hurry-up offense. 2nd down and 1. And it's incomplete. Let's quickly check in with Kurt Menefee back in Los Angeles.
Well, the Patriots trying to wrap up the #1 seed in the AFC, but they got to play better than this. Miami's Brandon Marshall, 19-yard touchdown reception, and the Dolphins in New England lead 10-0 right now in the second. Tom?
3rd down and a yard. And Skelton on the keeper appears to have enough to move the chains.
Skelton's a big, strong man now. He's 6'6", a good 240, 245, if not more. So he can put some beef in there. They've gone to the no huddle to try to calm down some of the multiple looks that Cincinnati is giving John Skelton. Maybe this will help him get a little more efficiency on the outside.
So just enough to get that 1st down. And now right back in the hurry-up mode. Had a wide open receiver early, Doucette, and that throw is just too high. Your evaluation, Brian Billick, of what you've seen out of John Skelton so far this year, filling in for Kevin Cobb.
Here's the difficulty for John Skelton and the Arizona Cardinals. He comes out of Fordham, so it's a smaller program, tough transition in the NFL. We've always talked about that transition from 1st year to 2nd year. That's where the real growth comes from. Well, there was no offseason, so they really didn't know what they had in John Skelton until they got into camp. He's got all the physical skills, but there's still obviously a learning curve for this guy.
2nd down and 10. The Bengals bring the blitz, and Skelton gets it away, and it's dropped. Carlos Dunlap breathing down on Skelton.
And this is what I'm talking about. He's got to know there is nothing off this edge. He was almost surprised to get the ball out to Taylor as quickly as he did. A more veteran quarterback and more experienced quarterback would have known, look, I'll just stand my ground. This is a chance for a big play. He looked almost surprised that the pressure was coming unblocked.
Intercepted into the arms of Nate Clements.
Well, right now he's just kind of going snowblind. He's getting to the outside. He knows where everybody is. But as odd as this sounds, I promise you, when John Skelton gets out there, when you see an interception like this, he has no idea of what he's seeing. You can see here Clemens is just kind of hanging around, Skelton sets, looks, okay, now I get outside, got my vision downfield, and as odd as it sounds, the guy's standing right there in front of him, okay? Nate Clemens is 6 foot, 200 pounds. It's hard to miss a 6 foot, 200 pounder, but I promise you, never even saw him.
Well, the Bengals take over at their own 42, and it's dropped off and too low for Benson out of the backfield.
Here it breaks down again. Skelton's a big, strong guy. He can schluck off, if for lack of a better term, or shrug off, I should say. Slug off is good because, you know, but it's an East Coast term. But he has the ability. You're not going to bring him down with one arm. But when you get outside, I said he was Roethlisberger-like. You got to be able to see the field better than that and know where the defenders are. Slog off.
I tell you, I really like it. I don't know if I'll use it later today at church, but perhaps, you know, a couple of days from now. There's a handoff to Benson. And the big fella close to a first down. He is a load, man. I'm always amazed when the preseason publications come out and they rank the backs in the league. That Benson is not higher up the list. 3 straight years now over 1,000 yards and durable.
Yeah, and some of it's due to him bouncing around. He started out in Chicago, obviously with what's gone here in Cincinnati, both good and bad, so he's not exactly high on the radar. This is a tough running down. Generating first downs on first and second down are so important. Here they ended up with a 3rd and short, but obviously a very convertible 3rd down. You love these. Looks like a possible sneak here as well.
Oh my goodness. And he nearly broke it were it not for Washington. That's the way they used to draw it up at TCU for Andy Dalton.
Well, they knew it was going to be a sneak. This motion in the backfield didn't fool them. Look at the way they collapse inside to jam up the sneak. He shut off, then going, ooh, wait a minute, I remember this from my TCU day. I don't have anybody to pitch to, but I can pull this thing down and run. This is familiar territory to Andy Dalton. And he's going to catch more grief for getting caught from behind from his team in the film session on Monday, I promise you.
That's a gain of 17. And right back in the air, they set up the screen to Benson. And he's inside the 25. They'll spot it at the 24. That'll be a gain of 8.
I love this play calling that Jay Gruden's pulling out right now. We just saw him, Cedric Benson, pounding away. Now we come back. We've been throwing the ball with these 7- and 8-man protections. I've already seen a little check down screen to my tight end Gresham. Now I'm seeing this little slip out to my back. I love the combinations that Jay Gruden's putting together right now.
Knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
Well, these defenders right here, they know that Andy Dalton's checking. You know, you always talk about changing up your audibles from one week to the next because teams get a beat on you and they know what you're doing. But now, even within a game, these guys, you know, you do one thing with one check and you do it again. They know that. They recognize that. Whatever that check was, they knew to get their hands up quickly was going to be a quick out to the outside.
It was Calais Campbell who got a hand on it, but this appears to be enough for a first down to Benson to the 21. And it is.
Just downhill football. We talked about the commitment to the run by Marvin Lewis. Nothing measures your commitment to the run more than your willingness to run the ball on a 3rd and 2, 3, or 4. And clearly that's what Cincinnati's committed to. How many times do we sit here, Tom, and see a team at 3rd and 1, 3rd and inches, and they're in gun throwing the ball? Your favorite play?
As I recall, it was here last year when Tampa Bay started that nice run they had with that big upset. And the Bengals about 5, 6, 7 times were in shotgun 3rd and 1 and 3rd and 2.
Let's talk about Cedric Benson. You talked about him being a little under the radar. Let's look outside the numbers. Great lower shoulder. He shrugs off tackles. He's got surprising foot speed and quickness for a big man, and he's got great vision. Most backs do. His ability to know when, no, I'm going to run you over, or versus I can go side to side. That's a unique talent for a big man to have that kind of foot quickness and that good vision.
And the other thing he is durable. He has averaged more carries per game than any back in the NFL over the last 3.5 years. Wide open and a flick into the end zone by Jerome Simpson. Oh, goodness. You'll be seeing that one the rest of today, into tomorrow, and the entire week. It's one thing to leap over a guy. It's another thing to finish the flip on your feet.
Well, you don't get style points in the NFL, but that ought to be worth 8. I mean, my goodness, that is. I just hope the league doesn't come back and outlaw this. This is outstanding. He wanted to look at the ups on this guy, and then to land on, he nails it. That would have been a 10-0 in the Olympics.
Mary Lou Retton would be proud, indeed. But we understand the East German judge made it a 9. That's pretty good.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Jennifer Warren from Kunsan Air Base, Republic of Korea. I just want to send my husband, James, and my son, Jeremy, Merry Christmas, and I love you guys. I'll be home real soon. Miss you.
Can't wait for you to get back.
That's when you come over as a coach going, how exactly did you do that? Look at this. He is fired up.
Now, Coastal Carolina, second-round pick, Jerome Simpson. He's had a nice year. He's closing in on 50 catches. A.J. Jefferson brings it out to the 20-yard line. Bengals lead 17-0. I still can't believe that play.
And I always wonder, you know, you can see just a little crossing route. Andy Dalton dumping it off. He just thought he was going to get a first down and another shot. When does it occur to you to do this? At what point do you decide, you know what? Because he was vulnerable.
It would never occur to me to do that.
Oh, my gosh. Look at this. Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. How about that? You can win that one on a bet.
You think a Chanticleer can do that?
Yeah, I know what you know what a Chanticleer is?
Well, you just told me.
I was trying to make you look smart.
Well, why don't you tell everybody else?
It's a mud hen. It's a lowlands waterfowl. How about that? Well, you're right. And you know what? And that I'm glad to see it. And I hope that makes more fans come to the stadium next week and go, you know what? I want to see some more of this. Wow, that was spectacular.
Robert Gathers knocking down the first down pass by Skelton, and boy, in these final 2.5 minutes, Arizona needs to score.
And off that last play now, that deflates you a little bit emotionally. Arizona's got to find some emotional energy here because of the way this thing's going. We're talking about a team trying to get in the playoffs.
That'll be a gain of a yard. Take a look at this one more time. This is just spectacular.
Look at the this guy's got to have like a 40-plus vertical jump. He really does. Boy. And Darrell Washington's not a bad athlete now. He thought he was going to get a knockout punch. Can you believe that? Can you believe what that guy just did? Wow. Merry Christmas.
Indeed. So we have reached the 2-minute warning. And the Bengals trying to get into the playoffs, lead 17-0.
Run stop and a forced fumble. Dallas's Marcus Spears and Anthony Spencer made plays that might have gone unnoticed.
Nice job, fellas. Hell of a job.
But they set up Tony Romo and the Cowboys offense for 2 first-quarter touchdowns and route to a win in Tampa. From kickoff to the last yard, Chevy runs deep.
Andy Dalton and the Bengals leading 17-0. Arizona with a football. Dalton hoping to get the football back. This is a 3rd and 9.
Yeah, Skelton, just don't turn the ball over here, son, whatever you do.
Threw into double coverage. Fitzgerald was looking for a flag, and none is coming. Bengals have 1 timeout left and just under 2 minutes.
They've been putting pressure on Skelton all day long. You saw that last snap. And it's not just the 3 sacks. Obviously, the pressure that leads to the turnovers. They've chased him out of the pocket a number of times as well.
Brandon Tate waiting on the punt. A short one by Sastadil. Let's see where they're going to spot this thing. There is a penalty flag back at the line of scrimmage.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 57. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
So the Bengals will get it back with 1:47 left in very good field position. Coming up shortly, it'll be the VESA halftime report. How about it, Kurt Menefee?
Coming up on the VESA halftime report, we'll have scores and highlights from a busy Christmas Eve in the NFL. 10 games going on right now, including the Patriots still fighting for home field in the playoffs. And Tim Tebow plays his coldest game ever. That's all coming up when you join Maestro and me and them on the VESA halftime.
That's impressive in that you can totally ignore the conductor in front of you. I don't know how to do that. Totally ignoring the guy who's supposedly leading you.
I thought Terry wasn't too bad here,
He was into it. I guarantee you they weren't watching him, though. There had to be someone behind him doing that one for real. But I love this situation for Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah, you can look at that. Look at all those eyes are going over in there. I promise you, they're looking someplace else. I love the situation here for my young quarterback, Andy Dalton now. Playoff team on the line. What am I going to do in scoring position or getting close to it with under 2 minutes?
Early movement by the right guard.
I didn't want to do that.
False start. Offense number 66. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Well, Mike McGinn making his second straight start. The 12-year veteran, rock-solid Bobby Williams fractured his ankle 2 weeks ago.
And these are the kind of lessons Andy Dalton, again, what he's been able to do, carrying around with him the pressure of this is a playoff caliber team. That's different than obviously someone who's out of the playoffs, can learn all those lessons you got to learn. This is going to bode well for the Cincinnati Bengals for years to come.
Second and 11, they're going to hand it off. And this time it is Cedric Pierman. His first carry. And a good pickup up to the 48-yard line.
And this is what I'm talking about. You can see here, these are the top rookies that came out. This is a pretty good class. When you see A.J. Green was a part of that class, these first 4, Newton, Miller, Green, and Peterson, were all first-rounders. Andy Dalton they got in the second round.
That's going to be a tough vote for the Rookie of the Year this year. And a throw and a catch for a first down by Whalen. We mentioned he's playing in just his 3rd game of the year. Last week he had his first NFL catch, and he has 2 of them here today. He was a favorite target, remember, of Andrew Luck a season ago.
We talk about a combination of tight ends. You throw him in with Gresham now. That's a great 1-2 punch with big, tall athletes that can catch.
Blitz coming, and they pick it up, and you knew there was a chance for a completion, and that's what it is to Gresham. Clock continues to run. The Bengals have a timeout left.
Tight end can be one of your favorite targets versus pressure. Again, we talk about matchups. Kerry Rhodes, Adrian Wilson, not necessarily the best matchup for Arizona against a big receiver like Gresham.
In and out of the hands, and a flag comes down. They had an eye on Whalen in the end zone, and Adams was with him. And this is against Michael Adams.
Pass interference, defense number 27. Automatic first down.
This is one of those you just get beat right now. It's just survive. Anything I can do to try to break up the ball. Did not play the ball, played the receiver the whole way. Contact came early, puts him down now in scoring position.
They'll spot it at the 12-yard line, 1st and goal. 1 timeout left for Cincinnati, and 18 seconds remain. All-out blitz coming here, and Dalton is dropped all the way back to the 24-yard line. That's a big sack for Calais Campbell. And the clock continues to run, and apparently the Bengals are not going to use their timeout until a field goal chance. Now with 4 seconds remaining.
That's the first real mistake I've seen Andy Dalton make. We talk about maximum protection, and then here you're going to see pressure on the inside. Once you see this, get rid of the ball. Give yourself a chance now for another shot if you choose to the end zone. Now you're relegated to clearly just try the field goal. Good solid coverage, I understand that, but throw the ball away when you got a clean rusher like that.
It's a 10-yard loss. So here comes Nugent. We mentioned Nugent, 27 of 29 coming into the game, but today he's missed 2 out of 3. This one will be spotted just outside the 30. We'll call it a 41-yard field goal try from Mike Nugent. And that's the way he's done it all year. So for a team, Cincinnati, that is tied with the New York Jets for the final spot in the AFC playoff picture, they know they have to go win. And here they are at halftime, leading 20-0.
Arizona's got to find a way to latch on to the fact that down 20 points, it could be worse. That doesn't sound real palpable to me, but this thing could have easily been 28, 35 points. We've missed field goals, missed opportunities. Offensively, they've done nothing so far. They've got to find a way, whether it's the no huddle we saw a little bit of, they've got to do something to get themselves going offensively, because they're not helping their defense at all.
And remember now, they need a lot of help, but the bottom line is the Cardinals have to win their final 2 games of the year to get into the playoffs. So this perhaps could be an emotional halftime chat, if you will, that Ken Whisenhunt is going to have with their Cardinals.
Chat's a nice word for it, because if you're going to be a playoff team, these guys know what the playoffs are about. Remember, they were in the Super Bowl a couple years ago. They've got to know this is unacceptable. This is not playoff caliber.
All right, it's time now for the Visa halftime report, which starts right now. Set to begin the second half. Cincinnati with a 20-0 lead, getting the football. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to iTunes.com/NFL. Andy Dalton in the opening half, hitting on 15 out of 23, 136 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Returning to his home state, a very quiet opening half for Beanie Wells. In fact, it was completely quiet offensively for Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona doing literally nothing, and not only were they not getting production, but the field position, whether it's turnovers or it's a 3-and-out punting, they were giving Cincinnati additional field position. They have got to do something offensively to change this equation, or their playoff hopes are done.
Again, the Bengals could get in with 9 wins, but they're thinking about going 10-6. And Tate brings it up to the 27-yard line. If you're just joining us, the early turnover. Malaluga with the interception, leading to a touchdown throw to Jermaine Gresham. Nate Clements getting an interception, which led to this acrobatic touchdown by Jerome Simpson. Mike Nugent hitting on 2 out of 4 in his field goal attempts. A 20-0 lead, and this is A.J. Green on the end around. And he tips those out of bounds all the way up to the 47-yard line. A gain of 20.
You're just going to see a motion or a quick action here with the way they're running the ball. Look at this. You talk about a convoy getting out in front of A.J. Green. I like it. Like I said earlier, I love the play calling of Jay Gruden. He's hit him inside. He's thrown out deep down the field. Total play protection, play action, fake protection, and then now gets them all sucked up in the middle and runs a reverse to A.J. Green around the edge.
More traditional ground game for the Bengals. This is Benson for a gain of 6. And let's check in with Laura Oatman.
Thanks, Tom. And all 7 of Arizona's wins, they've trailed at the half. So Ken Wisenhunt said, we've been through this. There's no panic here. But he said offensively, obviously, we've got to get something going. He said what's breaking down offensively, a lot of it protection-wise is due to John Skelton not understanding, not seeing it. He said we have to come out. We have to see what he can execute so we can take advantage of that and obviously run the ball.
Well, we'll see when Arizona gets a football if their fortunes change here in the second stanza. And you mentioned, Laura, they have come from behind in every win they have so far this year, all 7 of them. Nice play by Campbell and Washington. 3rd down and 7 coming up.
3rd down for the Cincinnati Bengals. The next step in the progression of Andy Dalton is his ability to consistently convert on 3rd down. They've been about average, middle of the league when they can run the ball on a 3rd and convertible 2, 3, 4. They've done that, and that's the commitment to the running game. But in this down and distance, when you're 3rd, 4, 5, 6, or 7, that's where the rookie quarterback now has to begin to consistently convert on 3rd down.
Bengals 5 out of 8 on 3rd down. Pressure coming. And what a hit delivered by Darrell Washington on Andy Dalton. And Dalton gets up, although the Bengals will punt.
Well, I accused Skelton, and here you can see coming on the outside Washington, of Skelton not knowing pressure was unblocked from the outside. Andy Dalton totally oblivious to the fact that the wide rusher on the weak side, Washington, was not accounted for. He was sitting way too comfortable in that pocket to not know that someone was coming free off the backside.
Washington certainly is blossoming into one of the best young linebackers in the NFL. And now we get a look at Patrick Peterson, who's returned 4 punts for touchdowns. Huber punts it straight in the air and doesn't give him a chance to return it. Fair catch at the 20. We'll see if Arizona can get it turned around on offense. First possession here in the second half for Larry Fitzgerald and the Cardinals. Quiet day for all on this Arizona offense, including Mr. Fitzgerald in the first half. They hand it off on 1st down to Beanie Wells, and a good run up to the 27-yard line.
Larry Fitzgerald, now this is a pregame ritual. That's Hall of Famer Russ Grimm, the offensive line coach, throwing the ball to him. He knows, you know what, I'm going to have an all-time great do this to me. But Larry Fitzgerald, probably one of the hardest working wide receivers in the league. Class act. This young man, obviously frustration now is they got to be able to get the ball to him in some form or fashion.
Skelton on the keeper there picks up the 1st down. Clements thought they had handed the ball off to Wells in the backfield, and he ran right by Skelton.
Understandably, you're not going to see a lot of this little play fake right out of the college game plan. I don't know if a quarterback, when my starter Kevin Cobb's down, I know I want a 3rd down, but I don't know that I expose my starter to too many of those types of plays.
Big Deuce Latui, the starter the last couple of years at right guard, has come in to take over here in the second half for Rex Hadnot. And he laid down a massive block there, springing Wells for a good 1st down run.
Watch the fullback here lead up. They're going to pull the onside guard, kick out, lead the fullback downhill. Arizona said they needed to run the ball better. They're going to be given some looks, down 20-0 by Cincinnati, to be able to run the ball. The question becomes, will they be able to take advantage of it enough to overcome a 20-point deficit?
Wells strong running again across the 42, and that's another 1st down. Wells setting career highs here in 2011 in attempts, yards. He's gone over 1,000 for the first time, has 10 rushing touchdowns. Of course, 4 weeks ago had the monster performance, 228 rushing yards in the win over St. Louis.
I like what Ken Wisenhunt's doing. We're going to run the ball. We're going to make you come out of this shell coverage to maybe, just maybe, give me that one-on-one shot down to Larry Fitzgerald down the field. Goodness.
Thrown right into the arms to the Cincinnati defense, and that is Reggie Nelson. Third interception thrown by Skelton.
3 times faster. AT&T.
This is cover 2. John Skelton's got to cover his play caller here. We've just run the ball. We didn't expect this cover 2 after running the ball so effectively. I thought I'd get cover 1. I got a guy underneath. I got a guy on the top. He forces the ball in anyway, and it's too high. You've got to cover your play caller. I know you expected a single high safety that allows me to throw it, but they gave me a shell coverage. Mike Zimmer dialing up the perfect defense, going opposite of what Arizona thought they were going to get.
Well, first down for the Bengals after the turnover. And Benson bottled up, maybe lost a yard. Darnell Dockett there to slow him down. You know, Mike Zimmer, a lot of people feel, and Brian Billick, I think you're one of them, that this may indeed be the year he finally gets a coveted head coaching job in the National Football League.
I think it very well could be. Mike's an outstanding coach. He's got an excellent command of the game. The players respond to him with what he's done. And believe me, people around the league recognize this is not the most talented group of defenders. And what Mike Zimmerman's gotten out of them, I think he will definitely be a head coaching candidate at the end of the year.
Bolton just throws it away. It was Darnell Dockett again who had him wrapped up. Dockett looking for an intentional grounding call. And oftentimes we see it called after the officials meet with one another.
Well, the question is was he inside or outside the pocket?
Ball went past the line of scrimmage, no foul for intentional grounding, third down.
And you hear Terry McCulley right there. He was saying he's outside the pocket. Therefore, all he has to do is get the ball past the line of scrimmage. Had he been in the pocket, now he would have had to have had a legitimate receiver. But being outside of it, that's why they had to confer with one another. It's not a penalty.
Clear down at 10. Not enough for a first down on the catch by Andrew Hawkins. So the Bengals unable to take advantage of very good field position again. And will punt it away for the second time here in the second half.
Again, the defense of the Arizona Cardinals is stepping up to the challenge, and that just sounds so lame to say when you're down 20-0, but they've been put on short fields, more difficult situations than you can shake a stick at, and they've held up very well.
We wonder will they get Peterson, and that ball is blocked, but blown dead before it was punted. I believe the penalties against the Bengals.
Offense number 45, 5-yard penalty, fourth down.
Yeah, in that instance, the penalty kind of saved you a little bit there.
Jeremy Miles will back him up 5 yards, and Huber will try it again. He had one partially blocked in St. Louis last week. Peterson, what an unbelievable year in the return game. All 4 have gone for 80 or more yards. That is an NFL record. The 4 punt return touchdowns ties a single season record. 4 of them of 80 or more yards. No one's ever done that.
If you're going to kick to him, you better get it angled into one of the corners.
It's into the end zone, and Arizona will start from the 20, trailing by 20.
Well, obviously, these 2 young men having dramatically different days. The tail of the tape clearly going with the young rookie Andy Dalton. This also tells you that the Arizona defense has been put in a tough situation, has actually held up real well, but Andy Dalton getting the better of it right now compared to the second-year John Skelton.
Well, back to the ground. Well, they ran it well their last series before the interception. You get coverage of every NFL game with NFL Mobile. Call ** NFL right now. Wells 42 rushing yards, and look, Patrick Peterson has come in on offense.
Why not? I need something. This guy can run. We've seen what he does with punt returns. Let's see what he can do. Maybe if nothing else, he's going to draw some coverage. Maybe this will help me get the ball to Larry Fitzgerald.
And they'll put it in his hands, and the entire world was watching him. You're not going to slip much past Nate Clements. His 11th year in the league, 32-year-old Ohio native, played at Ohio State his first year with the Bengals.
Yeah, he just runs this little quick outside screen here, and you know he's in the game, and believe me, the defense knows that. Okay, what are we going to do with this guy? Typically, you'll put someone like Peterson in as a decoy and go someplace else. Nate Clements bringing, as you said, that veteran presence to the secondary of the Bengals. Huge pickup for them in the offseason, where they lost Johnson Joseph and obviously lost Leon Hall during the season.
For the 4th time in the game, Skelton is sacked. Fanene the first one there. He had help along the way. And Fanene, that's a couple of sacks in this game.
Well, we've seen this before out of this Cincinnati defense. Right here, just the turnovers, the 3 and the outs. We said that coming in, Cincinnati led the league in 3 and outs. The field position that gives your offense is huge, and we've seen that today. They're going to get field position here again. It is huge for a young offense with a young quarterback.
Picking up the bouncing ball is Brandon Tate, and he is walloped right at the 35-yard line. So Geno Atkins in this Cincinnati defense shutting down Skelton and the Cardinals. Pitching a shutout so far.
You ready for your present?
Wish every one of you happy holidays, a very Merry Christmas tomorrow. Brian, you'll be getting back in time, good Lord willing, back in the Baltimore area for Christmas Eve tonight.
Got the girls home, got the tree up, ready to go, done all my Christmas shopping. You all done?
About to become a granddad.
Yes, sir.
Brian Billick. There's down. Airing it out for A.J. Green. It's underthrown and intercepted by Patrick Peterson. And there is a penalty flag.
Passer. Defense.
Wow. It's Adrian Wilson.
Number 24. Illegal contact to the helmet. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
And then Peterson went down at the end of the play.
Yeah, hopefully he's just cramping up here. Or in the way he came down, you're going to see as they go up here. This was ill-advised. He got hit as he threw. Peterson came down here. Hard to see whether he landed on something. Here's a roughing back here. Again, helmet to helmet. I know it's frustrating for so many people, but that's going to get called every single time when you hit the quarterback in the head.
Fox.
Adrian Wilson, the illegal hit, roughing the passer. Helmet on helmet contact with Andy Dalton. Of course, much has been made in the NFL again this week. After the hit 2 weeks ago, James Harrison on Colt McCoy. And then it was undetected on the sideline that McCoy may have suffered a concussion. So the NFL, Brian, continues to beef up.
And this is just all about aiming point. I know this is frustrating for defenders, but clearly Dalton was in sights. He has got to lower his aiming point. That's helmet to helmet. It's going to get called. Dalton did not drop down and change the target here. Now this was a little tougher. The transition from a runner into a passer, but that transition was made and it was a head-to-head contact, brought about a suspension there.
I am stunned that suspension for Harrison, knowing his transgressions, if you will, the pass was not more than what it was. Were you surprised? We know it's a violent game. There's a first down catch. But I mean, it's like the back of a bubblegum card. Guys do it once, twice, a fourth and a fifth time.
It was. I think the commissioner took into account the circumstances that it was a very difficult position that James Harrison found himself in. I'm not excusing it. It was helmet to helmet, but it wasn't the blatant from behind. It was a quick transition. And I struggle with that a little bit, but it was a penalty, so I think that probably had a factor to do with it.
Well, Patrick Peterson, of course, left the game after coming down following what we thought was an interception. They pitch it to Bernard Scott. And he's run out of bounds by Richard Marshall. You know, we're talking more about concussions and what the NFL is doing to try and prevent them. And let's check in with Laura for more on that.
And what they're doing starts today. Right now at every stadium around the league, including this one, an independent trainer is sitting in the officials' box, and basically what they do is they're just another set of eyes. They will watch. They are hired by the league. They're not affiliated by either team, but they're from a college, a local college or high school around the area. Today it's Mike Gordon, who's the head trainer at St. Xavier High School. So he will call from downstairs and say if there is somebody that should be evaluated. He is not a medical expert. There is no medical talk or dialogue going on. There is strictly an opinion to look at a player.
Well, Darnell Dockett's going to be called for the horse collar.
Horse collar tackle, defense number 90, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And it's classic. You get the hold behind in the pads or in the shirt. And again, I know defenders get frustrated. What am I supposed to do? We've seen that tackle time and time again injure players. So the league have made it very clear. I know it's frustrating, but you know it's going to get called. His answer would be, well, what do I do? Let the guy go? Well, yeah, because it's going to be a penalty if you don't tackle him in a different way.
You know what the ironic part about it is? He could have grabbed the hair of Scott, and that would have been
totally
okay.
legal. Would have been totally legal.
Scott again tries to bounce it to the outside. A penalty flag comes down again. And now another one comes in.
I think we're going to see an outside hold by Simpson, the wide receiver. Anytime a play bounces outside and all of a sudden the runner's outside of the block you thought you were performing.
No 2 fouls on the play. Holding, offense number 86. Personal foul, late hit out of bounds. Defense number 58. Wow. The penalty's offset. First down.
Yeah, excuse me, it was Donald Lee, the tight end. It's offsetting penalties, so it's no harm, no foul. Just kind of a late bump there. But clearly out of bounds. You get in the white paint, it's going to get called.
Cardinals have been called for a pair of personal fouls in the game already today. Peterson walking off as Dalton is rolling right, running out of room, and just throws it away.
And let's remember now, Patrick Peterson is out of the game, so who's going to match up with A.J. Green?
Let's send it back to Los Angeles to Kurt Menefee.
Yeah, the bad news season for the Vikings gets worse. Keep your eye inside the circle. Adrian Peterson's left knee. That's not pretty at all. It goes the wrong way. Saying it's a left leg injury, but clearly it's something more than that. Also, Christian Ponder out with a concussion. Right now, the Redskins have the lead, but bigger problems for the Vikes. Tom and Brian.
Well, you hate to see that with any player. We certainly hope Adrian Peterson's going to be all right. Had an eye on A.J. Green today, Andy Dalton. It's incomplete. It brings up 3rd down and 10.
Like we said, Patrick Peterson's out of the game, so they put A.J. Jefferson on A.J. Green. I don't know that that's the matchup they want to live with without help over the top. Looked like A.J. Green needed to come back at a little bit more of an angle, but we're going to see them go back to A.J. Green unless they give A.J. Peterson help over the top. I can't get my A.J.'s confused here.
3rd down and 10 for the Bengals at the Arizona 21. Blitz coming. Dalton running, and he'll slide short of the first down to the 14-yard line. Let's check in one more time with Laura Oakman.
From Adrian Peterson to Patrick Peterson, who just slipped off into the locker room. It is a left Achilles strain. His return is doubtful.
Well, we hope that young man's going to be all right. What an outstanding rookie year he has had. It was after he had completed the interception, he got up, began to run again, but clearly when he fell down is where that injury, or at least we believe, is where it occurred.
And the fact he was able to get up and run like that is a good sign for a strain and not a rupture or a tear to the Achilles.
32-yard field goal try by Nugent, and he's hit now 3 out of 5 on the day, and there's some extracurricular activity. They're pushing and shoving. Bengals is shoving around the Cardinals. 78 total yards of offense so far in the game for Arizona. Bengals have nearly quadrupled that.
Well, when you're coming into a playoff match, and this is a playoff game, both teams said that's what this is because of the ramifications. Those are not the numbers you want to see coming out. Just total domination. You'd expect that if this was a Cincinnati Bengal team playing a team that was totally out of the playoffs. That you could understand. Ken Whisenhunt going to have to scratch his head and look at this tape right now and wonder, what is it that we did not do for our team coming in here with so much on the line?
And again for the Bengals. Could they get in at 9-7? Yeah, conceivably they could. But they feel as though they need to win their final 2 games of the year and then hope the New York Jets can lose one of their final 2 games of the season. And right now the Jets, with 8 minutes to go in the third quarter, trail the Giants 10-7, but obviously a tight game and a long way to go there. A.J. Jefferson. And he has run into very poor field position the entire afternoon. Well, this January, Fox returns to the Octagon. An incredible UFC fight. A triple header fight night. Some of the best going for titles. The UFC Fight Night on Fox triple header live from Chicago. Saturday, January the 28th, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on Fox.
Well, with 4 sacks, John Skelton feels like he's in the middle of that octagon because he's been taken down a couple times now. He's got to try to find a way to make a play, likely to Larry Fitzgerald, if it's going to happen.
Too high on the throw to an open early Doucette.
Now they just went 2 verticals. They got Doucette down the middle with the safety leaning towards Fitzgerald. Just a little too high out of the reach of Doucette for the big play we were talking about that they desperately need.
Skelton 6 out of 16, 62 yards, 1 for his last 8, and has 3 total interceptions. Beanie Wells up to the 22-yard line. He delivered a hit on Reggie Nelson carrying the ball. Look at those numbers. 5 total first downs.
Well, and the turnovers, you know, with the turnovers, that all year long, they've not gotten a lot of turnovers, only 16. I'm talking about Arizona now. 27 coming into the game. That's a -11 differential. That's not going to beat anybody. It's amazing they've been as good as they have the last 7 games with that kind of differential.
They're down 3, and Skelton completed ball across the middle to Heat. And he's up to the 41. There is a penalty flag down at the 25-yard line.
Somebody pushed somebody down there. We're going to find out who did what.
Prior to the pass, illegal contact, defense number 24. Correction, illegal hands to the face, number 24. Penalties decline, first down.
It's Adam Jones.
He was pleading his case from the get-go down the field. He knew something was up.
Well, there's a 20-yard gain and an Arizona first down at their own 41-yard line.
Cincinnati's apt to give Arizona all the runs at once, given where the clock is right now. Anything but the big play.
Oh, they're blitzing. Boy, did he get there, Reggie Nelson, right now for a 10-yard loss and the 5th Cincinnati sack of the game. That is their 13th sack in the last 2.5 games.
Great call by Mike Zimmer. Am I in? Am I out? And now he blows through the back, sizing up the linebacker. Gets blown right by on Reggie Nelson. John Skelton's been holding the ball a little bit, but that one's not his fault. He didn't even have a chance to get to his drop point.
Hausler, his first reception up to the 43, and we send it to L.A. to Kurt Menefee.
Once down 17-0 at home to the Dolphins. The Patriots mounting a comeback. Tom Brady hooking up with Deion Branch in the back of the end zone. That followed the Dolphin turnover and cut it to within a touchdown. 17-10, Miami trying to hang on. filled in the third quarter. Tom, Brian, and Laura.
Of course, New England with a chance to nail down home field advantage throughout the AFC playoffs. But they'll need to come from behind to do it today. A 3rd and 7 for Zimmer's defense. Well, you're down 23-0 here in the third quarter. Would you even think about going for it on your half of the field, or too early for that?
Just a little early. You want to try to make something happen, but you're going to dig an even bigger hole. Here now, all of a sudden, you almost capitulate field goal position if you don't get it. So punting's probably the right thing to do. But boy, you better get that offensive group on the sideline and try to figure out, we got to do something to get something going. We can barely get a first down.
Tate, a fair catch at the 9. Well, Brian Billick, we know all about the AFC North. Who knows about it more than you do? And all the divisional titles you won inside the AFC North in all your years, better than a decade there in Baltimore. And, you know, depending on how it plays out here today, what a huge game it could be right here at Paul Brown Stadium next Sunday. Perhaps a trip to the playoffs on the line for the Bengals against the Ravens.
And I would not dismiss Cincinnati's ability to get that win. Baltimore's playing very well, probably as well as anybody in the AFC. But these are rivals. They're familiar with one another. The formula they've got going right here. Now, Andy Dalton against that pressure defense of the Baltimore Ravens. Now, that's a tough task, but he has seen them once before. That's an advantage for him.
And that was a tight game, you may remember. And that game was in Baltimore. Cincinnati had a chance to win it late, was unable to come through and get that victory. But that play will be the final play of the third quarter. Well, the Bengals not quite ready to look ahead to Baltimore rolling into town next week, but they're knocking on that door, leading 23-0. And Fox NFL Sunday continues after a break from your local Fox station. Wilson for the third time as a Bengal has eclipsed the 1,000-yard rushing mark. I brought it up earlier. I'm always just amazed when they rate the top backs in the league, and I'm not suggesting he's in the top 2 or 3. I'd have a hard time finding 10 backs in the league I'd rather have as my main horse in the backfield, more so than Benson. And the numbers back it up. A.J. Green array again on that end around. Brings it up to the 17-yard line.
And this is the second time they've run that play, if for no other reason, to open it up for the inside for Cedric Benson. We're going to see a lot of Cedric Benson now here in this fourth quarter, because obviously Cincinnati's in control here. And I agree with you. You love what Cedric Benson gives you. The thing I love about him as a play caller, you're always getting positive yards. May not be a big play. Maybe it's only a couple. But you're always going to be in a workable down and distance, because he's going to get something on virtually every carry. Except, of course, when he's out of the game like that.
Third down 3. And just beyond the reach of A.J. Green. Of course, Green is playing with that separated shoulder. You wonder maybe a week from today if he doesn't lay out to get that one.
Well, I'm just as good that he didn't right here. And laying out for the ball, you always tell the receiver that you can lay out, but the speed that you can get to the ball diminishes unbelievably when you do launch. If you just run through it, you normally have a better chance, and it's what he tried to do there.
Kevin Huber will punt out of his own end zone. No Patrick Peterson, of course. He has left the game, and they punted out of bounds anyway. Well, spotted at the 40-yard line. First down, Cardinals. 3-0 as the fourth quarter is underway here in downtown Cincinnati. Ray Maualuga and the Bengals defense has just completely shut down this Arizona offense right from the get-go.
I'm not sure they don't have to sprint John Skelton out a little bit to get away from this pressure, because sitting back in the pocket has been a bit problematic for the Arizona Cardinals quarterback.
Nearly threw another interception there.
Here they're back into the no huddle. As we said, this maybe calms down some of the pressure, although I got a feeling Mike Zimmer might crank one of those up here.
Wells maybe back to the line of scrimmage. No, we haven't called the name Geno Atkins much today. He was a man who blew this play up. Only in his second year out of Georgia, leads all NFL interior defensive linemen in sacks. He has been quite a find for the Bengals.
When you shove the line of scrimmage back into the face of the running back like we just saw, boy, that's just devastating to a running game. It stymies any kind of momentum or read that the back can make.
Here comes that blitz. And a wide open receiver is early Doucette, and that's a first down to the 41-yard line.
And this is what Ken Whisenhunt was referring to when his frustration that John Skelton wasn't seeing it. We saw this blitz earlier in the game. It's coming off here. We said it surprised him last time. It did not this time. You've got to know that you've got an unblocked rusher from the outside, but that means you got somebody uncovered, or at the very least one-on-one on the outside. He was able to take advantage of it there.
Right back in the air, and this time it's Roberts. You know, we talked about Doucette. He's having the best season of his career. He's closing in on as many catches this year alone as he had in his first 3 years combined.
Well,
Turned into a nice option.
They need to find that complement to Larry Fitzgerald, and certainly early Doucette has shown he can do that. He's got to do it a lot more than just what we've seen this game.
Second down and 2, and again out of the shotgun across the middle. It's Doucette for a first down, and no, they're saying he didn't hang on. He had it momentarily, and then it must have squirted out of there.
Now he's communicating either here with the back or the line, trying to tell them what the protection scheme is. A lot of moving parts. This is either an incompletion or a fumble, one or the other. Arizona's lucky it's an incompletion and not a fumble.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I may consider challenging that.
Yeah, it looked like, did he have control rolling over the top, because he never hit the ground. He was rolling over the defender.
No challenge flag from the Cincinnati sideline. And Skelton on a third down missed a wide open Roberts. It would have been a first down and plenty more. Again, let's check in quickly with Kurt Menefee.
What 17-0 lead for the Dolphins? Tom Brady, 1-yard sneak. It's all erased, and it's all even. Into the third quarter, approaching 17-17. Patriots have come all the way back with 17 unanswered. Tom, Brian, and Laura.
Well, if Arizona has any chance of getting back in this game, they need this fourth down conversion.
Larry Fitzgerald's right here, a little underneath route.
And they pitch it to Wells, and he dives forward, and we'll see where they spot it. He needed to get to the 31-yard line, and it is an Arizona first down. I don't know if the Bengals have done anything specific, Coach Billick, but we have not called Larry Fitzgerald's name virtually the entire afternoon.
And they have brought enough pressures that indicate you're getting some one-on-one with Larry Fitzgerald. So obviously the Bengals doing a nice job with their coverage package.
Fitzgerald, 1 catch on the day for 13 yards. That's it. Through the hands of Hausler, the intended receiver. And again, it was Fanene all over John Skelton, who's been sacked 5 times in the game.
Fitzgerald is to Skelton's left, and right now, again, we heard Ken Whisenhunt say John Skelton's not seeing it very well, whether it's the protection, the routes. I know you can expect a lot of double coverage on Larry Fitzgerald, but right there, when you get the one-on-one like we just saw there with Adam Jones, you've got to take advantage of it.
Jones again out there on Fitzgerald at the top of your screen. And a little short crossing pattern to Fitzgerald. And he slipped underneath coverage, and he will slip into the end zone. Well, if you're under heavy pressure, that's the kind of play you call.
Well, he steps up well in the pocket. You're going to see Fitzgerald just stream underneath. Skelton did a nice job stepping up, but when you get the ball into Larry Fitzgerald's hands, usually good things happen. People underestimate the speed of Larry Fitzgerald because he's such a big man, he's such a long strider, but he has got legitimate speed.
So now the point after it is a 23-6 game, trying to make it 23-7 is Feely, and he does. So there's still a lot of time left in this game. First thing they've had to smile about. Well, with 11:25 to play, do you think about an onside kick?
Your offense just went the length. It'd be devastating to not get it. I'm not sure you don't kick it down the field, give your defense, although they're readjusting here, making it look like an onside.
Well, the Bengals have brought everybody up except for the lone man deep, and that's Tate.
In behind.
And kick a bouncing ball. I don't know if that was a wise move. I mean, that is guaranteed great field position there.
Yeah, I don't understand the thinking of that.
Good coverage, but still at the 25-yard line. Well, for those of you just tuning in, missing the touchdown, leap, and completing the flip by Jerome Simpson very early on. But, of course, the Bengals are not thinking about that. Arizona has just scored. And on a first down throw, it's a 5-yard pickup to Simpson.
I don't question the onside alignment, because now they can look and see what does Cincinnati do and how do they line up in case I want to go to an onside kick. But you don't squib it down like that. Either kick it into the end zone or give it enough height so I can cover it. But don't squib it across the ground and give them better field position than I need to.
6-yard gain on first down brings up 2nd and 4, closing in on a 10:45 mark, and this is Benson looking for a first down, and he's got it up to the 37-yard line.
Right now, it's all about grinding out the clock. This is just where Marvin Lewis wants to be with a little over 10 minutes. The emphasis, the ability to finish the game running the ball. Regardless of whether this leads to points, it's a 2-score differential at 16 points, which means 2 touchdowns and 2 2-point conversions. So now the clock is a huge factor. This is the kind of game Marvin Lewis wants to orchestrate.
Play clock down to 5. And Dalton is in the grasp. They blow it dead. Sam Acho, the rookie out of Texas, wrapped up the Texas native, Andy Dalton. Acho and O'Brien, Schofield, Washington, dynamic young defenders.
He saw a lot in the front there, pulled it back down. This is all a part of the growth of Andy Dalton. He is so smooth and calm in the pocket. There's an example of maybe throwing the ball away, or at the very least protecting it the way he did. I like the pocket presence of Andy Dalton. It exceeds his years in the league right now because he's very calm, very poised.
2nd and forever, and they give it to Benson. He gets a chunk of it and puts it on the ground. And Arizona has the football. Benson had not fumbled all year long. Before last week, he fumbled 3 times in the game, didn't lose any of the fumbles. But this could be a big one here if Arizona can strike quickly. The first lost fumble since December of last season for Cedric Benson.
Clearly a fumble here. He's got it protected. The thing just nice strip here by A.J. Jefferson, and the ball comes out. This is exactly what Marvin Lewis didn't want. That's why you run the ball in this situation. You minimize the turnovers. The clock is your friend. Now Arizona's got some field position.
Boy, do they ever at the 39-yard line, and we've talked about all these come-from-behind wins, every one of them for the Cardinals. And Skelton has been the architect of 6 of them. Too high for Fitzgerald, who is open at the 18-yard line.
And this is not being careless by Benson now. He's got the ball covered up. He wasn't loose with it. He knew he needed to hold on. It's just a good, solid strip. Jefferson's got the tackle and then just continues to work it. As he comes back up, it just kind of strips out. I don't know if Adrian Wilson got a hand in there or not, but obviously he didn't want to turn the ball over. Didn't look like he was too cavalier with it.
Second down and 10. 9:12 to play in Cincinnati, and Skelton down the middle, and there's Doucette. And he's inside the 15, and it's a first down for the Cardinals. They have come alive for the first time all day long here in the final quarter.
Larry Fitzgerald on the outside here. Now they're going to jam, and you figure the safety's going to go wide, as he was. As he approached the numbers, that told Skelton to go inside. Had the safety stayed outside or inside the numbers, he'd have gone to Fitzgerald on the outside.
Roberts in motion, and Skelton good protection. And there's that crossing pattern to Fitzgerald, and he's dropped inside the 5. Close to another first down, and an injured Bengal on the play. Down and taking a knee.
Same play we saw him scored on. He pumps to move coverage. One way to break down double coverage is to bring Larry Fitzgerald underneath and across the play. Again, just the way he looks right into the catch. Again, the exact same play. Clear it out, bring him underneath. As I said, that's one way to break down double coverage on Larry Fitzgerald, is to cross him across the field.
Brandon Johnson, the one-time Cardinal who left with an injury. First and goal.
No help over the top.
Take it to Wells. And that is a touchdown into the back of the end zone. To Jeff King, the backup tight end, and all of a sudden, the Cardinals are a 2-point conversion away of being within one score of Cincinnati after trailing 23-0 going into the final quarter.
And that's exactly what they're looking at here because of the time. If they go for it, and here it's just a little boot pass, looking outside to Fitzgerald with King trailing on the backside. Coverage couldn't go with him. Going for 2 is the right thing to do here. Bring it down to that 1-score game. The way the game has gone at 7 minutes, I don't know that you can put it in a 2-score fashion. This is a good move by Arizona.
Well, they will fail on the 2-point conversion attempt, so it is still a 2-possession game.
Here's the 2-point play. I don't know what John Skelton's looking at, but there's no help over the top of Larry Fitzgerald. Adam Jones is a good corner, but I'm going to look to this guy. Unless you got 2 or 3 guys over the top of Larry Fitzgerald, if the game's on the line, I'm going to go to Larry Fitzgerald. John Skelton didn't even look that way.
Well, they kick it away and kick it deep this time, and Brandon Tate will take a knee. Well, don't forget, more football still to come here on Fox. America's Game of the Week next, an NFC Classic. Philadelphia and Dallas from Cowboy Stadium. America's Game of the Week coming up next. Check local listings for the game in your area. Some we'll see out west. The 49ers and the Seahawks. Cedric Benson has been taken out of the game after fumbling just a moment ago. They will spell him from time to time. It doesn't mean that last fumble is the reason he's over on the sideline. They do that pretty regularly. But it could be why he's on the sideline. Scott for a gain of maybe 2. Maybe 1.
This will be a test for Andy Dalton because somewhere in this drive to maintain control, he's going to have to make a couple throws, either to convert a first down or take advantage of the defense that Arizona's presenting him. But again, you've got to be very prudent. A turnover has left you vulnerable. All but a fumble, you do not want to force the ball into coverage and create another turnover. By the same token, you got to be able to throw the ball and convert for your team.
Batted down at the line of scrimmage by Calais Campbell, all 6'8", 300 pounds of him, and all of a sudden now with under 7 minutes left, Bengals with a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, you get inside pressure with, look at how long this guy's arms are. He gets stopped straight up. This is a big man with a long reach. That looks like you're thrown up out of a huge hole when you're Andy Dalton and looking up at Calais Campbell.
Talking about working on a long-term deal for Campbell. He has had an outstanding year. Dalton's going to run it, and again he will come up short of a first down. Good coverage by the Arizona secondary. And now the Bengals will punt it away again.
Excellent coverage at the top. You can see him buzzing out here to A.J. Green, trailing the other receivers right here. Rhodes knowing exactly where he needs to be at the bottom. Nice job one-on-one. This guy, we've already seen the athleticism. A little bit of a shot there. Nice job by Marshall. Great coverage sack. And now we got to see Arizona's going to be given an opportunity now in a two-score game. They're going to have to hustle. Probably see a lot of no huddle, all but at 6 minutes.
Roberts chased all the way back to his own 22-yard line, and Miles able to drag him down there. Well, here we are celebrating Christmas, of course.
Nice job here holding off the Gunners. And now if you can get outside of this guy, you got a big play, but he does not allow it getting around the edge. Great job by Jeremy Miles.
All right, 6:12 to play.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 93, unrelated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty, first down.
That was one of those tough ones. Did he go or did someone induce him?
Look at the numbers all of a sudden for Skelton. He hit on 8 out of 19 for 93 yards and 3 interceptions in the first 3 quarters. And here he goes again in the 4th quarter.
Tebow-esque, huh? You knew you had to get Tebow in here someplace.
Although Tebow and the Broncos in big trouble. They're getting hammered in Buffalo. Crossing pattern to Fitzgerald, and he turns it into just a little bit more than a short gain. It's all the way up to the 35-yard line and an Arizona first down, but again, a 2-score game. So they need to score here and then get the ball back.
We've seen a couple plays now with Fitzgerald going underneath and across the formation. Look for a throw in behind that now as the Cincinnati defense begins to react to Larry Fitzgerald getting some good yardage with these shallow drag routes.
The Bengals leading tackler, linebacker Thomas Howard, injured on the play. First 3 quarters, Arizona had 6 first downs. They have 7 here in the 4th. Well, we're starting to mention this, of course, being Christmas. And we'd like to salute our men and women in uniform serving around the world, watching today's telecast in 175 countries on the American Forces Network. And we can't thank you for all you do in standing tall and strong and proud for the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. God bless you all. And we thank you for your service. Blitz coming. Skelton escapes one tackle, somehow got it away and completes a pass to Roberts up to the 44-yard line. Flag in late. That was long after the play was over.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense number 97, late hit after the play. 15-yard penalty, first down.
It's Geno Atkins.
He gets outside the pocket here, makes the blitzer miss. Obviously, Nate Clems misses, just kind of sidearms it. You know, just surviving now. Go down with your boots on. And I don't see where the penalty is here. Yeah, I'm guessing there. Now just the late hit coming in there on the backside. I thought it might be on the quarterback. It wasn't. As a trailer, it's left Cincinnati now, putting Arizona into scoring position.
Pump fake, looking for the end zone, and it's batted away by Adam Jones. The intended receiver was Andre Roberts.
He played that perfectly. He has the kind of speed to let that hang, see where the ball's coming in, what the trajectory is, and then to time your leap right here, get up, and he'd love to have come down with it, but that's why he's a DB. He can't catch. If he were, he'd be a receiver.
Of course, Jones,
nice timing.
Missed the first 6 games this year, rehabbing from neck surgery at the end of last year. Missed a lot of time, but now he's starting for Leon Hall. 2nd down and 10. And again, wide open. The catch is made at the 10-yard line, and Fitzgerald is dragged down at the 1. And here come the Cardinals yet again.
Well, they're rushing on a different group personnel. This is just a wide outside throw with the safety probably getting lured in a little bit away from his deep responsibility. You can see here Chris Crocker getting pulled away from Larry Fitzgerald because of how long the play took to throw. That's the last guy you want to leave uncovered that late in the play.
4 catches, 90 yards after having 1 reception through the front 3 quarters. The ball is loose. Still loose, and Wells may have been the guy to cover it up all the way back at the 11.
Wow. Well, beyond the fumble itself, I mean, you're sitting there on the goal line here. It looks like as he comes out, looks like he didn't get the snap cleanly. And down on the goal line, anytime your center has to fire out, you got guards pulling, that can happen. Beyond the fumble, and obviously they were lucky to get it, but this now takes longer to get into the end zone. And right now, some of the frustration you can see with the Cincinnati Bengals sideline with the turnovers and giving up the big play.
All-out blitz there, and it's broken up in coverage. They have an eye on Chancey Stuckey, and Kelly Jennings, who came in to replace Adam Jones, breaks it up. Well, I mean, Crocker and Jones were face-to-face with Crocker, the one doing most of the talking there.
Yeah, and that came from, as I said, the corners figuring on getting help over the top with the safety, and he was frustrated with why weren't you there?
Jones back in, Crocker back in. On a 3rd down and goal from the 11.
Arizona's confused here. They're not sure where to line up. This is Ted Wisnut trying to get a timeout, and he does.
First charge timeout.
Knowing you might need that,
and
all 3 of those timeouts for 1 more chance if you get it.
And here's the frustrating point, as I said, you're on the 1-yard line. If you can get this score in, the clock now, you're in a 2-score situation. You've bought some time. Now the fumble, it's going to take however many plays, if you can get it in. And keep in mind with the 2 scores, they'll settle for the field goal here because you need a touchdown and a field goal. So if the field goal here, so be it. You'd rather have the touchdown, but not only the fumble burning time, but now having to burn a timeout as well. This is not going Arizona's way now. And you can see here, look at the safety at the top. See him just subtly goes back to the inside right here because of the way Skelton pulled it right down. You can see Adam Jones pointing. He's expecting help over the top with the safety, and that's where the frustration burred up between these 2.
All right, back at it, 3rd down and goal. Cardinals have 2 timeouts left in the game, and they need 2 scores. And that one's batted down by Crocker. 9-year veteran, his 4th year with the Bengals. Crocker knocking down that 3rd down try, so now the field goal unit out.
And that's why you got to put it behind. You got to go deal with the next play. We'll deal with that on Monday when we look at the film. Clearly looking for Larry Fitzgerald, the go-to guy. Crocker, the veteran he is, knew where to be. And again, this is the right thing. You needed a touchdown, a field goal. I'd like to have had the touchdown given I started on the 1 here, but I'll take the field goal.
And a crucial field goal it is for Jay Feely. So what was a 23-0 lead is down to 23-16. And undoubtedly, well, I shouldn't say undoubtedly, Arizona does have 2 timeouts remaining. I mean, with 3:16 left, are you going to onside kick? Is that an automatic?
Well, we've seen 3 opportunities now that Arizona has had, or 2, I should say, to look at exactly how does Cincinnati want to line up against an onside kick. They've shifted on the last 2 kickoffs to see what Cincinnati has done. They bring everybody up, leaving one man back. Arizona's kicked it deep on both of them. So they know what they're going to face. Now, are they confident in their onside kick? There's certainly, as you said, Tom, there is enough time with timeouts to, particularly with a defense that has played relatively well, to kick the ball down the field, play defense, keep them pinned down, and see if my offense can then go the length of the field for the score. I think the way the defense is playing, I think they're going to kick the ball down the field and see if they can play defense to stop it. We'll see. Same configuration we saw earlier. Everybody's up except the return man.
And that one will go through the back of the end zone. So the Bengals with 3:16 to go will get the football from their own 20. Again, to repeat, Arizona has to win its final 2 games of the year and get a lot of help from a lot of other teams around the league to get in the playoffs. Cincinnati conceivably could lose another game, but its best bet is to win the final 2 and hope the New York Jets, a team which they are tied for the final spot in the AFC, loses one of its final 2 games. And right now, the Jets, with 10 minutes to go, trailing the Giants 20-7.
Well, I give great credit to both teams, and even Arizona. Everything was going against them to fight back the way they have. That bodes well for them, whether they make the playoffs this year or not.
Well, everybody on the planet knowing Benson's getting the ball, and he fumbled. He is stripped from behind. His last 2 carries, the ball has been batted away out of the arms of Benson. Watch the punch at the end here. There it was.
The ball is out. There's no question. Campbell. It was not a matter of him being down. My goodness.
Well, the last home game the Bengals had, the Houston Texans went down the field in the final seconds of the game to win the game.
He's fighting. Ball a little loose out and away from his body. For a guy that had worked so hard during the game, had already fumbled to put Arizona in scoring position, given this situation, you'd like to see him cover up the ball much more aggressively than to have it out away from your body like we just saw.
We brought up earlier, until last week, Benson had not fumbled all year long. He fumbled 3 times in the game, losing none of the fumbles. And now critical back-to-back carries and fumbles lost, giving Arizona a chance for a touchdown. They need a 2-point conversion to win the game. And of course, if they score a touchdown and get the point after, they tie the game.
Well, every opportunity, John Skelton's going to look at Larry Fitzgerald. Who's on him? Is there anybody over the top? You've got to give him that first consideration every time. He's here in the slot. He was outside wide. Now he's going to motion. Now with them rotating coverage, right now you know they're in a zone.
Wells bottled up. So now a 3rd down. Obviously, this is 4-down territory, trailing by 7. As we're closing in on the 2-minute warning, and it looks like we're going to get there after that carry. So Whisenhunt's Cardinals, they had a 1-6 start to this season. They have won 6 of their last 7, including 4 in a row. They were down 23-0 going into the 4th quarter. Do they have enough to tie here in the final 2 minutes? John Skelton, the architect of 5 comebacks in the 4th quarter, trying to take advantage for a second time of a Cedric Benson fumble. Bengals led this game 23-0. They set up the screen to Fitzgerald, and you can't play it defensively any better than that than Nate Clements. Clements has been in the league 11 years and never been to the playoffs.
Trying to set this up. Tight end Heap just misses the block, overruns it right here. If he could have gotten that bit, there might have been some alleys here or there. That was a big play by the veteran Clements.
Well, this could be a defining moment. If the Cardinals lose a game, they're out of the playoffs. If they score, they could put a major dent in Cincinnati's chances for the postseason. Wide open, and the receiver fell down. Early Doucette got turned around, was backpedaling towards the goal line, and fell down.
A broken coverage after the pressure by Cincinnati. Someone needing to fall off and go with early Doucette had disaster written all over it, and the winds of fortune. The guy falls down, and you're ostensibly out of the playoffs. Or does that define the National Football League or what? Literally of inches, a game of individual plays. Sometimes fate is a factor.
Well, of course, the Cardinals are going to try and strip everything now. They give it to Bernard Scott. And the flag comes in.
After the play, personal foul and necessary roughness, offense number 62.
That is Nate
After this to the goal, second down.
That's their left guard. Well, you got to wonder if Cincinnati's trying to give away a trip to the playoffs.
Boy, and the worst part of that is that it stops the clock even without you having to use one of those timeouts. Cardinals have two. They had clearly had to burn one there. Now we're got an opportunity. You back them up even more. If you can use those timeouts, keep them pinned down, you still have some time to try to pull this thing out. It's going to be tight, but that at least gives you an opportunity.
Well, Marvin Lewis is just searching for any answer along that Bengals sideline. Scott dragged down to the 10, and Clark Hagan spins him down. Arizona calling a timeout. Skelton in disbelief after early Doucette was wide open. A potential game-tying touchdown, but lost his footing.
What do? You trip, you fall. I mean, it happens. And particularly, not that this loss is any more a reason for why you don't make the playoffs than in September. People always say, boy, this is a big game. I've never played in a game that wasn't a big game. And the losses in September are the same reasons why you did or did not make the playoffs. So this game's no bigger than the one you played in September, but the consequences are more apparent, and that's why it hurts so much. And that's the guy that's winning. People, why don't you go back into coaching, Coach? Well, Marvin's 30 years old. He looks older, doesn't he?
They're down in 17. Just over a minute, so they'll run a play. And then Arizona calls a timeout. 57 seconds remain. So we take a look at the AFC playoff picture. We know the Bengals and the Jets are tied, but the Jets have the playoff or the tiebreaker lead over Cincinnati. But the Jets are trailing the Giants with 8 minutes to go. Bengals, if they can hang on here, will have a chance to wrap up the final playoff spot in the AFC if the Jets lose today, playing at home to Baltimore next week. Meanwhile, in the NFC, we talked about Arizona needing all kinds of help. Either 2 losses by Atlanta will play later tonight. Detroit, 2 losses will play later today. Seattle, Chicago in the hunt. Giants, mentioned they're leading the Jets.
Don't forget these guys.
And Philadelphia trying to get a win the final 2 weeks and get a little help.
How great is that? You don't think the NFL's loving the fact that a 6-8 Philadelphia team can go down to the last week if things fall? Now, there's no Patrick Peterson here. They'd have loved to have had him back there in this circumstance.
And Huber's punt will be fielded by Roberts, and he's dropped right at the 40-yard line. So here we go. 48 seconds remain, and we certainly thank our producer, Bob Stenner, our director, Artie Kempner, our technical producer, Bob Mullen, our entire crew, associate directors, Wayne Wilson, Yvonne Wagner, broadcast associate, Jordan Wolf, up here in the booth, Scott Snyder, Tom Barbary, Eric Norton, and Mike Eldridge down in the truck, and everybody from Fox. We wish all of you a very Merry Christmas. What does Santa have in store over the final 48 ticks for these two teams? Good protection. Skelton throws a catch. Did he get out of bounds? Yes, he did. At the 48.
Now remember 2 plays now. Remember that we talked about Larry Fitzgerald on those shallow drag routes underneath where he's had some good gains throwing in behind it. Also, let's remember how they've dropped the ball off to Larod Stevens howling in an overtime win that he goes the distance. We've seen that happen as well.
That was a win over Dallas. Fitzgerald coming this way in motion. Only a 4-man rush. Underneath, again to Roberts. And he's wrapped up and dropped to the 42. It's a first down with the clock rolling and Arizona out of timeout. Trailing by 7.
They're going to dirt it here. Hold on to those 2 timeouts. Keep those in our back pocket. Excuse me, I lost track of the timeouts. They don't have any. I lost them. That was my problem when I was coaching too. That's why I'm up in the booth now.
Fitzgerald at the top of your screen. Wells on the reception down to the 34. The clock is under 20. And running.
He's got to move along. He's obviously orchestrating for a play. He needs to either do it quicker or dirt this thing.
Could be the final play of the game, and Skelton going to have to let it rip down the middle of the field. And that's the way it will end. Somehow, some way, Cincinnati hangs on and may have a chance next week with Baltimore coming to town to nail down the final spot in the AFC playoffs. Arizona is out. Merry Christmas, everybody. Let's go to Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles.